Hello everyone, this is Sean and welcome back to episode number 9 of our Planet Coaster Goose Hollow Let's Play. We're on harder difficulty challenge map. It is March of year 10. Our park is up to 648 guests, and since we left off, I've thrown down a bunch of scenery here in Sci-Fi World. I didn't really put any thought into it or anything. I just threw down a whole bunch of rocks and cactuses and trees and all that nonsense. You know, one thing I didn't throw down were any lights, so I probably should throw down some lights while we're in here too. There's not really a lot of need to be careful or anything like that. I'm just gonna smack them down out here kind of at random, kind of mix it in with the scenery and all that stuff, and it doesn't really matter. But it looks better than it did before when it was just a bunch of empty bare nothing. So we'll get some of this stuff out here. We'll get it lit up. You can tell the areas where I had used the templates over here because they all got lights, and it's all kind of predictable and visible. But up in here, it is not templates, and so they're going to need lighting, that's for sure. Might be a little nicer if I put the effort in to make this lighting atmospheric, but I always want to have a good balance between having fun and kind of role-playing the game properly. Like, I would like to role-play as a park manager who does a good job and really wants to take care of his patrons and everything. Like, I like being a good manager. On the other hand, I want to have fun. I don't want to spend all day setting up the specifics of lights and stuff. I also went through and I got rid of most of those exploding pieces within the scenery down here, so then we don't have, like, that makes it much more obvious that I use those little templates when all those explosions keep going off. Those radar dishes still kind of make them stick out a little bit, but I have a lot of radar dishes in a lot of places. So if we don't look at it in too big of an area, it doesn't look so bad. I don't like that we can see the outline of that building there. There we go. That's much better. How about we have nothing selected? How does that sound, game? Moonhammers is broken down, but Logjammin' seems to be doing pretty well for us. I raised the price on it because people were saying that it was a good value, and now they're not saying that, but they're still going on it. We continue to struggle with money, not entirely, but, you know, Horsey Go Round can't seem to make any money. The Zipper, for some reason, is not making any money, although it's a fairly new ride. And same with New Flight, also not making any money. That's a little more expected because it's an older ride, although the game still thinks they're all the same age. That's a real shame that it does that in games that were already going, because I'm not about to start a new game since we're doing a Let's Play of this one. So that's kind of disappointing, but, you know, it is what it is. We're already up to $3,000, so it's pretty funny. I guess I must have spent a ton of money on all that scenery, and maybe that's why we slipped a little bit. I'm gonna get a little highlight of this ride here because I need a title shot for, well, why'd you get in the way there? There you go. Let's try that again. Nice title shot for yesterday's episode. I know it's cheating a little bit, but that's I needed the nice beautiful shot of the park. Well, sorry about that. I accidentally hit the wrong key and cut the video off, but you didn't really miss too much. One thing I decided to do, since we're making enough money, or we were making enough money, is I decided to try out a television ad campaign. So I've started out a late night talk show ad campaign, which is going to eat up all the money that we made in the last month. But I'm hoping it will, because we've got a lot of space in this park and it's not very crowded. So instead of expanding the park and trying to, I guess, draw more guests with new rides and stuff, I was like, why don't we try to get up to like 1,200 or 1,400 guests or something through advertising? If we can double the number of guests that we have in our park and not have to expand anything, because we have all these empty queues, and you know, we're not running our rides full, so we just need more people in the park, and I think we can manage that. Spending a lot of money on advertising would be one way to do that. So I'm not quite sure how well this is going to work out running these $5,000 TV commercials. But we're halfway through the month and we're only down $1,000. So it seems encouraging, especially since they don't have to pay any money to get in or anything. But we will find out. Again, I'm sorry for the little break in the video, but you didn't really miss anything. I like the different colors, like the light over here is white and the light over here is yellow. I know that's because I use the gas lamps and stuff, but I like that they have different coloring, like the temperature. I'm a photographer, I should know these things. The white balance. I like that the white balance of these is blue. All right, let's slow it down. What do we got? Oh, boy, we do have a lot of broken down rides. Well, only 2, which is kind of to be expected. How are the staff being treated? So they have low work. I wonder what they're doing. What is your yeah, I'd sure like to see where you work, though. I know we're centered on you, but you must work in the shake shop or something? For crying out loud. And why does nobody go to... Oh. Well, if you're closed, why do I have an employee there? Isn't that the whole point of closing down? Never mind. Just open those stupid shops back up then. If we're paying for somebody to be in there, it wouldn't make sense that we'd be losing. I don't know. I'm not even. I'm just gonna let it go. How does that sound? Just let it go. We were looking at staff, and we were going to look at our mechanics. So our mechanics have a normal workload. They're happy. They're well trained. How about we give them each another level, and we're going to give them a little raise. That should keep them happy, and hopefully that will keep them going a little faster at doing inspections and all those other things. I believe with all of our rides, we can't go through and just check the inspection stuff from here, but we can sort of do that through here. So we have this should be every 10 minutes. Horsey go round every 30 minutes is fine. Zipper every 10 minutes is necessary. Crazy cup hand every 10 minutes, of course. 10 minutes for that one. 10 minutes for that. Space wheel 30 minutes. Face plant 10 minutes. Mad Hatter 20 minutes. That's fine. Wild West Looper 10 minutes. Yep, good. And the Spider 30 minutes is fine. Great. So we finished up our advertising. We only gained like 100 guests, which is not really what I was expecting. On the other hand, we only lost $2,000 and we spent $5,000. So I guess that means we would have made $3,000. Or, yeah, it's hard to say, but only getting an extra 80 or 90 guests really doesn't seem like it was worth it. Now we are up to October of year 10. In the interim, I have just let the game run, and I did go through and update a few of the rides. The one I want to update now, which is why we're just sitting here looking at it, is the Looper roller coaster. Still not sure whether updating them improves the number of people riding them, though, unfortunately. I've got the Western Zip. I just updated it. Nobody's waiting in line for that. It's not broken down, right? Why is it just sitting there? Must be waiting for more people to get on. Did we upgrade this one as well? Can't remember. I know I was looking at it. No, we haven't refurbished this one yet. So, but hey, look at that. Nobody's waiting for this ride either. We did refurbish the merry-go-round, and it looks like it's making money again, so that's good. Same with this ride. We refurbished it. It's making decent money. So maybe refurbishing helps. I'm not quite sure, but it's taken us a while to get up to the $1,200 that we need to refurbish this one, and that is unfortunate. Sorry, I just realized I still have my there we go, podcast playing in the background. I don't know if you could hear that, but That was starting to get on my nerves. I don't know how I didn't notice that until it had been running for a few minutes. But at least this ride is... Oh, I also went through and I dropped some prices. So for some reason, I had this at $15 and like nobody was riding it. I've dropped it down to 12 and it seems to be getting popular again. But like nobody was complaining that the price was too high either. And so I don't know if it's not giving us the good feedback anymore on prices. Maybe if I drop the price a little lower on that, people will be a little more encouraged to ride it. I can get more people on that ride at $9. Maybe people will buy more shakes if I lower the price of those shakes, but they're already pretty low. Those aren't actually all broken down. It is true, we often have 2 rides broken down at once, but that's because we have a lot of rides. I mean, not like a ton of rides, but a lot for 2 mechanics to be handling, but I don't think it's quite enough for 3 mechanics. So, oh, look at this. We can refurbish this here. Let's let these guys enjoy their ride. Well, maybe now we're not going to be able to do it because it was the end of the month or something. I don't know. We had to pay $500 for something. So this time, let's not waste any time. We'll just refurbish it as soon as that thing clicks over to being clickable. It's not going to happen at the first of the month, that's for sure. Let these guys... Actually, I don't know. I'm not going to let anybody do anything. Like I said, once it clicks over, we're just going to click it. I'm waiting. I'm so patient. And it's just not happening. We can go look at other stuff while we're waiting. The window's not going to close. That's another ride that could use refurbishment. The Mad Hatter down there. I think it was $800 to refurbish when I last looked at it. I think we already refurbished this one. Well, we're not going to get that $1,100 again anytime soon. Yeah, we must have just redone that one. And that one has a good, nice long queue as well. Even at $14, I'm kind of surprised. I think we lowered the price on this ride, did we? Yeah, we're down to $12, and we're still not running full. At least we're getting over to the second half, so we're running more than half empty, or less than half empty. This ride also doesn't really get too many people in the queue. Just doesn't seem to be too excited about it. I guess we could drop it down to $10 and see what happens. I must say, I was excited about this update, but it really feels like it's kind of fiddled with the balance. And but you know, on the other hand, this is supposed to be a very difficult mode. So if this is the harder mode, shouldn't it be harder to play? Like, you know, I shouldn't be able to jump right in and be an expert at it. So there's probably things that I'm not doing right that could be done more efficiently, and that's why it's become difficult for me to make money. We're down to just the one marketing campaign. We have it auto renewing, but we've lost a bunch of guests. I can't afford to research. So wages are our biggest expense, of course. Our shops are barely making any money. They're not making enough money to pay for all the attendants working at the shops. And our rides are just not making enough money to overcome how much money we're losing. Well, that is really frustrating because I don't... Is it... Well, the scenery running costs are not that high. So it's not the scenery. It's these wages. But I don't know what I can cut. I guess if I want to shut down, I could shut down those shops again and just fire the employees. I really didn't want to do that. But the shops are all losing money again, too. So let's shut down Western Shakes. Let's shut down Western Burger. No, we're going to shut down Western Balloons and Sci-Fi Hats. Shut those two down. And now we have to figure out who works in those places. So Western Shakes. Select vendor. You're fired. Western balloons. Select vendor. You're fired. And sci-fi hats. Select vendor. You're fired. Sorry guys, have to make cutbacks. Want to keep the park open. We'll see what kind of, that is really loud, guys. Turn that ride down, would you? See what kind of money we're going to end up with. This window is so huge. Just think if I didn't have 1920, you know, if this wasn't 1080p, how big would this window be? Right. What? We're going to see how this affects our wages, yeah. We're on the 23rd of April, so we won't really know for a couple of months to... Oh, wrong game. We won't really know to see until we get to that point. And we're really no nearer to being able to refurbish our roller coaster. Look at all these people carrying balloons and stuff, though. They seem really happy. How's our food and drink area doing over here? Still not busy at all. Especially the drinks. What's up with people not buying drinks? Yeah, I know you're a Joshua Tree, but that's what I really want to look at. Everything is too expensive. At $4.50 a drink. And we're barely making any money. Wow. And the looper's broken down. Well, why wouldn't it be? I can almost afford to refurbish it, although the price has probably gone up since it's been a couple of months. We are back, and it is now August of year 11, and we have set up the pathway to expand out our sci-fi park here. We've got enough money to where we can actually buy a ride. We also researched pirate themery when you weren't looking. That's so we can get a third park area going here eventually. That is looking a little further ahead than... why is it? It keeps telling me the multiple rides are broken down. You know, I can accept having 2 rides broken down at the same time. I can't put these guys on any faster inspection schedule. All my rides are making pretty good money, except the Mad Hatter, for some reason, is just not making any money. Maybe if I drop the price down to $5? I don't know. We'll see. All our shops are doing well now that we've closed all the extraneous shops, so that's better. We also, I did bump the marketing to run both of these concurrently every month, so we are spending a lot of money on advertising. But let's get that new ride set up. So we're going to go ahead and we have the Forge, I believe, is the one that was new to us. We did, as you can see, I set up just a kind of very generic sort of scenery, and we're going to put this ride, although I can't afford it, $2,400. Wow. What was the gentle ride that we had discovered then? Because I feel like, oh, the bumper cars. And I can't put bumper cars out here either because I also can't afford those. Well, let's turn the speed up. Maybe we'll get to the point where we can. I want to have a little bit of money in reserve so we don't end our advertising campaigns. So I'll probably want to get up to at least $3,000. Maybe wait until the beginning of the next month, maybe. Nobody's walking around out here yet because it's not a convenient pathway to get anywhere. Can't believe we're still surviving with just the one burger and drink spot, and that people aren't clamoring for more. But they're not clamoring for more, so you know, what am I going to do? Made a decent profit last month. All right, look at that. $3,000 in cash, so I can place down one of these rides. Let's start out with the real ride. And that's this one. We're going to call this one real. Needs to be lifted up above the ground, right? Well, not necessarily above the ground, but that, like that, will do. And then we're going to put an entryway on it. And I guess we'll put the bumper cars over here. Should be fine. And we'll put the exit right there, no problem. And for the entryway, we need a path. And it's going to be that path right there, as usual. So let's just run this. We'll just run it tight along the edge here. Doesn't really matter. There we go. Knock it out there. 7% theming. Of course there's no theming because I haven't themed up the pathway yet. So let's just throw in, we will go cheap and fast here. I say cheap so we can pull up those, and we're just going to throw in the cheap desert scenery. Let's take a brief moment to make sure that we have it rooted into the ground properly, and we'll throw another one in down here. It's kind of weird throwing them in on a hill like that. And then we'll throw in some of the other cheap desert spots like that, and like that maybe. Over here, no. So such a weird sound effect when you can't build something. I'm not even like clicking the mouse or anything. It just automatically starts playing that crazy sound effect. And how about I just throw some random bandits hanging around in those bushes. We're looking for props. We're looking for animatronics. And, oh wait, we don't want bandits. We want aliens, huh? Oh, there's my pirates. So let's have some aliens hiding back here. And we're gonna, I don't really use many of the orange aliens, but we'll stick this orange alien right there. There we go. Maybe another green alien. Well, I'm not going to have him typing. That would be pretty ridiculous. But we'll have him guarding over here. And let's see what that does. 85%. Well, we're almost there. So, usually a quick way to wrap that up is to put in one of those scanners. How about I put a radar dish right here, if that's okay. And a scanner. People like to be scanned while they're coming onto the ride. Yeah. How about I use the special commands for this? I turn it that way. Yikes. I turn it that way. Then I move it inward like that. Still not quite. Still seems really weird and funky. We're going to go down a little bit, and we're going to rotate you like that. That's fine. It's just that clipping. It's driving me crazy. Like that, maybe? I don't mind those little pieces clipping out like that, but that's fine. Alright, that'll work. And that'll get us to 100%. Perfect. We're going to open you up at $14. And you are going to be the Mars Flipper. I don't think we have a Mars ride yet, but now we do. Which one is this? Moonhammers, yeah, that's right. And this is the Mercury. And that, space, just space, generic space wheel. So now I want to go to the staff and open up the work roster and Sci-Fi World. We're going to include this ride on your queue. So save work roster. That is definitely going to expand that out quite a bit, but I don't think that's going to be a problem. Maybe it is time that I assign a mechanic specifically to Sci-Fi World. So we're going to hire a new mechanic. Let's try it doing it that way. There we go. And it's frustrating that it doesn't open up his window anymore when you hire him. But we're going to hire him, and we're going to assign him to Sci-Fi World. And then you can just make your way around Sci-Fi World. That's all well and good. We've got plenty to do, no doubt. We're going to make sure that we set you to a 10-minute maintenance schedule. So, you know, we're making a little bit of progress. We've finally got another ride. We're going to flesh out Sci-Fi World and finish building that. So that's good. I hope you've enjoyed watching this episode. If you have, you should click the like button down below. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't done that yet, and tell your friends that they should be watching my YouTube channel where I play games and talk the entire time. Whew, my throat. I hope you've enjoyed. Leave some comments in the comment area. That's right. You guys aren't commenting on these Planet Coaster videos. I see that you're watching them, and I do really appreciate all the views and everything. And it's nice to see those view numbers up there. This is much better results than I got for my Civ 6 series. But you know, comments, good reminder that people are out there too. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye.